Yeti footsteps spotted in the Himalayan mountains. A strange creature in the distance. A predator hunting some campers. Or a bizarre creature caught on trail camera. These are a few of the things we will look at, so stick to the end. As we venture deeper into the unknown, we often come across strange and inexplicable phenomena. Such was the case when the Indian Army reported sightings of the mythical creature known as the Yeti on an expedition at the Makalu base camp in the Himalayan mountains. The creature, long thought to be a product of local folklore and superstition, was said to have left behind massive footprints, measuring an incredible 32 by 15 inches. These prints were unlike anything seen before, with their sheer size and depth indicating a creature of immense power and strength. As we look closer at these mysterious footprints, it becomes clear that they are far too large to belong to a human being, and certainly do not match any animal that we know about in that region. These prints are deeply caked into the snow, indicating the creature is of substantial weight and spaced far apart, suggesting a stride that is both monstrous and intimidating. And the size of these footprints is enough to send shivers down the spine of any seasoned explorer or adventurer. While some may be quick to dismiss such sightings as mere superstitions, it is important to note that the Yeti is not the only large, hairy creature said to exist in the world. Scientists have recently discovered the remains of a massive ape, known as Gigantopithecus, which lived over 1 million years ago in South Asia, and is estimated to have been as large as a polar bear. The Indian Army, upon posting this story, was highly ridiculed by the international community for believing in such things. But could it be that the Yeti, too, is a remnant of a long-extinct species surviving in remote corners of the world, and leaving behind its massive footprints as evidence of its existence? Whatever the truth behind these mysterious footprints may be, one thing is certain: they are a testament to the enduring power of folklore and legend in our modern world, reminding us that there is still so much left to explore and discover. This type of videos just make my skin crawl. There's no way this can be human or even animal. It walks on all fours like an animal would, but its limbs are long and slender. It is not in a hurry, rather meandering past the camera. It appears to look up at one stage, revealing glowing eyes. It clogs the camera and then continues on. So what exactly is it? What are we looking at? Music in so many of these videos make the entire experience even more eerie, but I would have to say that I would be even more terrified if there was silence here. The night is dark and quiet, but these campers are relaxing by their campfire. The one filming seems to be enjoying exploring his new camera. Suddenly, the cameraman notices a faint glow in the distance. It's too small to be a campfire and too bright to be a star. The glow begins to move, and then, all of a sudden, grows larger and brighter, and we soon realize the light is a pair of eyes. The eyes glow with an eerie red light and seems fixed on the campers. There's no way this can be an animal. The creature moves with terrifying speed, darting through the shadows and leaping over obstacles. It seems to be driven by a malevolent, almost supernatural force. At the end of the video, just as the campers are about to make their getaway, the camera zooms in and we can see that the eyes are set in a dark, shadowy figure. It's too far away to make out any details, but its size and shape suggests that it's not a creature we want to mess with. They flee into the night on their boat, leaving behind the ruined campsite and the creature with the glowing red eyes. If it weren't for the arrow, I wouldn't be sure where to look. But then the dogs alert us to the figure behind the tree. It is definitely not human, but is also not animal. The dogs are attentive, but they don't seem to be too concerned, except a few barks they make. As we watch the creature, we can see its movements are slow and deliberate. It appears to be observing us as much as we are observing it. The creature's long limbs might suggest it to be some sort of monkey, an ape perhaps. The fact that it hides so carefully behind a tree, however, is suspicious and unnerving. I can't believe the camera lady didn't see it. Thankfully, whatever it was, it didn't seem to mean any harm. The footage is dark and the camera hardly stays still, so it's not easy to see what appears to be an alien. But its silhouette is a strange, otherworldly shape. The body, spotted in the forest of El Paso, Colorado, seems elongated, and its skin is smooth, almost sleek, reflecting any light that manages to penetrate the darkness. Its head is large and round, with oversized lidless eyes that seem to glow in the dark. Despite its ominous appearance, the alien does not seem to be hostile. In fact, it almost appears afraid, hiding and pushing itself up against a tree. So what exactly are we looking at? Is this some kind of prank? As the man ascends over the hill, I can feel my nerves jumping. The man seems unsure of how to interact with the people and structures around him, as if he has been living in the wild his entire life. Like the cameraman says, this is some crazy stuff. Clearly the man has no language skills. He is almost animal-like, which leads me to believe that he is feral. He does seem to be wearing clothes, and he does seem harmless. One can't help but feel a sense of sympathy for him, knowing that he must be completely out of his element in this world. It is a pity the car had to drive away, as it would have been interesting to know more about the man. I can't help but wonder what his story is, how he came to be living in the wild, and what led him to venture out into civilization. Either that, or this was a setup for an interesting but fake encounter. I always watch these type of videos with my breath held. I can see the room is still, but I am waiting for whatever it is making itself known. What is it though? The first interaction we witness is the door at the end of the corridor open, only for it to slam shut soon after. The noise is alarming in the silence. A locker then starts to rock violently, growing in speed. The aggression of whatever it is then proceeds to fling papers out of another locker. The entity seems poltergeist-like, aiming its frustration then on the wet floor sign. I can't help but feel a sense of dread as the entity continues its rampage. The way it moves, the way it seems to target specific objects, suggests a level of intelligence that is all the more frightening. This is not some mindless ghost or spirit, but something with a purpose, something with a vendetta. What tormented soul is trapped in these holes, I wonder? We can see a man in a forest doing some trot singing, while being watched by a deer. However, as he moves the camera towards the deer, we can see something else in the distance. The creature is humanoid in structure, with long, pale limbs. It is hiding cautiously behind a tree, clearly not wanting to be seen. And the description of the clip refers to skinwalkers, and I've heard stories of skinwalkers before, creatures that can shapeshift in the form of any animal they choose. They're said to be powerful and dangerous, capable of incredible feats of strength and speed. If the figure in the distance is indeed a skinwalker, then we are dealing with something far beyond our understanding. As the video comes to an end, I'm left with more questions than answers. This strange being was spotted walking on a deserted road in India. Its appearance is unlike anything anyone has ever seen before. It has a humanoid shape, but its skin is a sickly shade of grey. The being moves with an unnatural gait, almost as if it was not accustomed to walking on two legs. Its arms are long and thin. The few witnesses who saw it feel a sense of unease and dread, as if the being is not of this world. It is possible that the being spotted is simply a naked and thin person who is lost or disoriented. Some possibilities could include a person in a costume or prosthetics as well. What do you think? What exactly is this? When I found this video, it was described as being the recording of a fallen angel, but I'm not sure where the angel that they are referring to was in this particular video. Our first glimpse of the strange thing is a white mass. It almost appears skeletal from a distance. At first, it does not appear to be moving. We focused on this for quite some time. The footage then changes a couple of times. We seem to follow the hikers further into the woods, with foliage on all sides. The camera then clocks on a strange humanoid creature crouched in the distance. The hikers zoom in and get nearer. Suddenly, the creature turns and looks at the camera. And I don't blame the hikers for freaking out and running. The chaos and excitement around these campers give away nothing untoward. It looks like they're having a lot of fun. The group then hears a shrill sound in the distance that immediately makes me think it is a bird.
Rambina, more like it.
But then one of the campers immediately sees a small, elf-like creature on top of the camper van. They all spring up and away from the vehicle, both in fear but also to get a better view. I'm not exactly sure what this creature was. My first guess would be that it was some kind of a monkey. And considering the sound we heard earlier, I think it is a monkey. But what do you think it is? If you want to see more creepy encounter on trail camera, then watch this.